Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into dream vacations. Okay, maybe not always, but today we are diving into something seriously exciting. Imagine finding a penny that could pay off your mortgage, send your kids to college, and still leave you enough to splurge on a ridiculous amount of tacos. Yes, you heard me right. Today we are talking about the legendary 1952 U.S. Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. This little copper beauty is making waves because right now it is valued at a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. Yes, $1 million for a penny you could easily overlook under your couch cushion. So grab a snack, kick back, and let's talk about how a tiny coin from 1952 could change your life. Alright, so let's get to the good stuff. First things first, what makes the 1952 U.S. Lincoln penny so special? Why is everyone suddenly treating it like the crown jewels? Well, the S mint mark means it was made in San Francisco, and if you know anything about mint marks, you know San Francisco has a long history of lower coin production numbers compared to places like Philadelphia and Denver. Lower production means fewer coins. Fewer coins mean higher value. Basic supply and demand stuff we all learned in school but probably forgot because we were too busy doodling in the margins. Now, the 1952 US penny was made out of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. Sounds fancy, but really it was the standard back then. What sets some of these coins apart though is their condition. Collectors are crazy for coins in mint state condition, which basically means they look like they just rolled off the press yesterday. Some of these 1952 US pennies have amazing detail, strong strikes, beautiful luster, minimal wear and tear. Think of it like finding a vintage car in a garage that's been covered up and untouched for 70 years. Same concept, rare and pristine equals big money. So why exactly is one particular 1952 US penny valued at $1.1 million today? It all comes down to its condition, rarity, and buyer demand. High-grade coins graded by PCGS or NGC can fetch insane prices at auctions, and if there is a bidding war between rich collectors, oh boy, you can basically sit back and watch the numbers climb like it is the final seconds of an eBay auction for a limited edition PlayStation. Now let me tell you a quick personal story. A few years ago I was at a garage sale because that is what coin nerds like me do for fun on Saturday mornings. There was this old dusty coffee can filled with what looked like junk coins. I asked the guy running the sale if I could poke around, and he said, "Sure kid, knock yourself out." And there it was, sitting among a bunch of sticky nickels and crusty dimes, was a shiny 1952 penny with an S on it. I felt like Indiana Jones discovering the Holy Grail. I bought the whole can for $5. Long story short, it was not the $1 million penny. It graded decent but not mint state still, though it was worth about $100, and that was $100 more than I started with and about 100 times more exciting than anything else I had planned that day. Moral of the story: you never know what treasure is hiding right under your nose, and if I found a good one you could too. It is like playing the lottery, but instead of wasting money you are actually learning about history, art, and making smart investments. So there you have it folks, the 1952 US Lincoln penny is not just a piece of pocket change, it is a ticket to the Millionaire Club if you are lucky enough to find the right one. Check your old piggy banks, your grandparents' coin jars, and every coin you come across. You just might be holding onto a little copper miracle without even knowing it. If you had fun hanging out today and learned something new, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a chance to learn about coins that could make you rich. Trust me, you are going to want to stick around because I have plenty more tips, strategies, and crazy coin stories coming your way. Thanks for watching, stay awesome, and happy hunting. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we turn your spare change into big bucks. If you are new here, welcome to the wild world of coins where one little penny can turn into a fat stack of cash. And if you are already part of the crew, you already know what we do here. We hunt, we laugh, and we get paid. Now, quick question for you: have you ever looked at a penny and thought, nah, this little guy is worthless? Well, today you are going to regret ever thinking that, because believe it or not, there is one penny out there that could be worth more than your car, more than your house, and maybe even more than your entire life savings. I am talking about the legendary, the magical, the crazy valuable 1994 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yep, you heard me right, a 1994 penny without a mint mark, currently worth up to $1.2 million. I said million with an M, not a typo, not a joke. So grab your penny jars, your coffee, and maybe a box of tissues, because when you realize how many of these you might have spent on a candy bar, you are gonna need them. First up, let's talk about what makes this 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny so dang special, because you are probably thinking, come on, it is just a penny from the 90s. We were all busy wearing neon windbreakers and watching Full House back then. Who was worried about pennies? Well, here is the thing: most pennies are struck at mints across the country like Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Usually if it is from Philly, it has no mint mark. That is normal, but in 1994 there were a few pennies struck with such freakishly perfect details that they basically became the supermodels of the coin world. No weird scratches, no weak strikes, no messy surfaces. We are talking flawless, so flawless that collectors are basically fighting each other to get their hands on one. And then there is the grade. Oh man, the grade is where things get juicy. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, 70 being absolute perfection, like if the coin fairy herself polished it With angel wings now most pennies in circulation are like a 20 if they are lucky, but a 1994 no mint mark penny graded at 70 by PCGS or NGC that is the unicorn, that is the $1 million baby. Quick side note, I once thought I found one at my grandma's house. I flipped open this old tin she had stashed away in the closet, all dusty and full of old coins. My heart almost exploded when I saw a shiny 1994 penny with no mint mark. I swear I was already mentally shopping for a Ferrari, but nope. After a closer look at its scratches and a tiny ding, so basically it was worth about 1 cent, but hey, the dream was real for about 45 seconds and it was glorious. Now you are probably asking, okay cool, but how can I tell if my 1994 no mint mark penny is the magic one? Well, here are a few quick tips. First, check the condition. If it looks like it has been through 5 world wars and a tumble dryer, it is probably not the one you want. You are looking for something with razor sharp details. Lincoln should have the cleanest jawline you have ever seen. The steps of the Lincoln Memorial on the back should be crystal clear, like you could actually walk up them. Second, luster. Oh yeah baby, luster is that shiny bling bling effect. A rare $1,1994 penny will have an almost blinding shine, not like some greasy old penny that has been living in your couch cushions since the Clinton administration. Third, check with a pro if you even think you have a high grade 1994 penny with no mint mark. For the love of all that is holy, send it to a professional grading service. I mean, imagine throwing away $1 million because you thought it looked a little dirty. In 2023, a collector found one of these rare 1994 no mint mark beauties in an old desk drawer. Not even kidding, true story. They sent it and got it graded MS70, which means mint state perfect score, and boom, it sold at auction for over $1.2 million. Can you imagine cleaning out your desk and accidentally finding $1 million ticket? Forget winning the lottery, just go clean out some junk and it gets better. There are rumors, and I am not saying this is totally confirmed, but there are rumors that some of these 1994 pennies got into circulation early before they realized how perfect they were. That means right now, somewhere out there in the wild, probably sitting under your car seat or stuck to some gum under a diner booth, could be a penny worth more than your college tuition. Let's also clear something up real quick. Just because it is a 1994 penny with no mint mark does not automatically mean it is worth millions. It needs to be in that pristine top of the line MS70 condition. Remember that only the elite survive. It is like the Hunger Games, but with pennies. Speaking of which, let me tell you about the time I thought I found another valuable penny at a flea market. I was digging through this old box of junk coins right next to some guy selling Elvis plates and Beanie Babies. I pulled out this dirty penny that looked promising, wiped it on my shirt, held it up to the light, and a lady next to me gasped like I had found the Hope Diamond. Turns out it was just a regular penny, but for one glorious moment I was rich. It was a humbling moment for sure. Moral of the story, always double check and maybe carry a magnifying glass if you are serious about the hunt. Okay, let's do a quick recap checklist so you can be ready. Step 1, find your old pennies. Look everywhere: jackets, junk drawers, between couch cushions, your car, everywhere. Step 2, look for a 1994 no mint mark penny. Step 3, examine it like you were Sherlock Holmes. Look for super clean details, sharp edges, bright luster, no scratches, no dings. Step 4, if it looks promising, send it to a professional grader. Do not be cheap about this, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Step 5, if it grades MS70, call me up because I want to see that bad boy. Now before we wrap up, let's talk briefly about strategy for those who are serious about finding valuable coins. You want to buy old coin rolls from banks? You would be amazed how many old pennies are still mixed in. Go to estate sales, flea markets, and coin shows. Sometimes folks have no idea what they are selling. Join coin forums and groups. There are entire communities online filled with folks who nerd out on coins, and they have some awesome tips. Patience is key. This is not a sprint, it is a marathon, or maybe a slow jog after a bus. And most importantly, have fun. Seriously, if you are not having fun, you are doing it wrong. This hobby is part treasure hunt, part history lesson, and part exercise, because trust me, your back will hurt from bending over and looking at the ground all the time. Alright folks, that wraps up our deep dive into the magical world of the 1994 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. If you learned something new today, or if you are now frantically checking your pocket change like a madman, do me a huge favor, smash that like button and hit subscribe. We are just getting started here. Every week we break down more coins that could make you rich, more collecting strategies, and of course more ridiculous stories of me almost becoming a millionaire but not quite. Also drop a comment below if you have any crazy coin stories. I read every single one and I love hearing about your treasure hunts. So until next time, keep your eyes sharp, your hands clean, and your pennies even cleaner. Happy hunting, everyone. Hey there coin hunters and treasure seekers, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into dream vacations, new cars, and maybe even early retirement. Today I've got a story that's gonna have you running to your couch cushions, flipping open that dusty old piggy bank, and maybe even sweet-talking grandma into letting you go through her coin jar. We're talking about the 1964 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. That's right, a tiny copper coin that might just be your one-way ticket to a $1.30 Million payday sounds too good to be true, right? Stick around because today we're breaking it all down. What makes this little penny so valuable, how you can tell if you've got one, and some hilarious mistakes people have made thinking they struck it rich when they actually found, well, a very shiny button. So buckle up, grab a magnifying glass, and let's go hunting. Back in 1960, for the US Mint was cranking out pennies like there was no tomorrow. Seriously, they made billions with a B of these things to help people deal with a coin shortage that had everybody hoarding silver coins like it was the apocalypse. Now most of these 1964 pennies are pretty boring, to be honest. You could throw a rock and hit about 15 of them at any flea market, but here's where it gets interesting. Some of the 1964 D mint mark pennies minted in Denver were made from leftover high-quality planchets or blanks, meaning the metal was a little different, thicker, shinier, and they were struck just a little sharper at in some minting errors and some crazy rare varieties. In BAM, you've got yourself a penny that collectors today are willing to pay over $1 million for. Now let me tell you a quick story that still makes me laugh. A few years back I was at this garage sale classic Saturday morning adventure, you know, the ones, old vinyl records, mismatched teacups, 3 copies of Monopoly, and some weird porcelain dolls that definitely move when you're not looking. Anyway, I spot this old coffee can full of coins and my heart skips a beat because hey, you never know, I pay $5 for the whole thing, take it home and spend the whole afternoon sorting through them like a pirate counting doubloons. I found 3 1964 pennies all with D mint marks. I am thinking, this is it, I'm buying a yacht, I'm quitting my job, I'm moving to a private island. Then I look closer and realize, yeah, they're 1964 D pennies alright, but they're the regular everyday kind worth about 1 cent unless you're sentimental about it. Moral of the story, not every 1964 D penny is a jackpot, but knowing what to look for makes all the difference. Collectors are nuts about condition. They want a penny that looks like it rolled straight out of a time machine. No scratches, no dings, no evidence it spent 6 months stuck between the car seats with old fries. We're talking mint state MS65 or better to even get in the $1 million ballpark. Some of these high-value 1964 D pennies have double dies, repunched mint marks, or even slightly off-center strikes. Double dies mean the design elements like Lincoln's face or the words "I in God We Trust" look a little shadowed or doubled, like he had too much coffee before posing for the coin engraver. And then there's the metal itself. Some of the rarest ones were struck on leftover silver planchets from earlier coinage, a total minting oopsie that turned out to be a very happy accident for collectors today. Those silver-looking pennies are super rare, so if your 1964 D penny looks weirdly shiny and silvery and doesn't stick to a magnet, because remember, pennies after 1982 are made of zinc with a copper coating, you might just have $1 million baby on your hands. Now let's talk about the current market as of right now. The highest auction price for a 1964 D Lincoln penny with those rare traits sits at around $1.30 million. Yup, $1.3 million for a coin you could lose in the couch. Think about that the next time you're pulling lint and old candy wrappers out of your pockets. Collectors are hungry for these rare varieties and prices have only been climbing thanks to the booming interest in coin collecting lately. Everybody wants to find that hidden treasure, that little piece of history that turns out to be their golden ticket. And if you're wondering where you should go to get yours checked out, if you think you've got one, don't just walk into your local pawn shop and hope for the best. Find a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate your coin, grade it, and give you a certificate, so when you put it up for auction you can sit back with your popcorn and watch the bidding war begin. You might think, oh, it'll look so much better if I just give it a little scrubby scrub and opie. Cleaning your coin can destroy its value faster than you can say oops. Collectors want original surfaces, even if that means a little natural tarnish. Imagine if you bought a vintage comic book and someone had tried to make it look new by coloring in all the faded spots with a Sharpie. Not good. Same idea, you never know, you might just find that 1964 D Lincoln penny hiding in plain sight. And hey, if you do find one and it ends up being worth $1.3 million, feel free to send me a thank you postcard from your new beach house. I'll be here waiting. If you learned something new, had a good laugh, or you're now frantically dumping out every coin jar you own, do me a huge favor, smash that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, and stick around because we've got way more videos coming packed with coin tips, insider tricks, and real strategies for finding coins worth big money. Seriously, if you like the idea of finding hidden fortune literally in your own pocket, this is the place to be. And hey, even if you don't find $1 million penny, you'll at least have the best excuse ever for carrying around way too much loose change. Thanks for hanging out today. Stay curious, stay lucky, and as always, happy coin hunting. Hey there my coin-loving friends, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into potential treasure chests. Now today, oh man, do I have a story for you. You will not believe that a plain old penny from 1985 could be worth not $1, not $100, not even $1,000, but $1.4 million. Yep, you heard me right, $1.4 million for a little brown coin you might have literally dropped between your couch cushions last week. Now before you go flipping over your sofa and digging through your vacuum cleaner, let's take a chill minute and dive into the wild world of the 1985 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Why is it so valuable? What makes it special? How can you tell if you have one? And of course, how you can cash in big if you do stick around, because not only am I breaking it all down in simple easy steps, but I'm also sharing a true story about the time I almost threw away a coin worth hundreds of dollars without even knowing it. And trust me, you're gonna wanna hear that one. First things first, what the heck does no-mint mark even mean? Basically, most pennies have a little letter under the date, D for Denver, P for Philadelphia, S for San Francisco, but sometimes every once in a blue moon you'll find a penny without any letter at all. That's a no-mint mark coin. Now 1985 was a year when Philadelphia made a boatload of pennies, millions and millions. They were like Oprah, handing out cars. You get a penny, you get a penny, everybody gets a penny. But in that mountain of coins, a few rare ones came out with some oddball features, either from minting errors or super rare striking issues. What makes the 1985 no-mint mark penny so special is that it's tied to two things: its amazing condition and some crazy rare minting mistakes like double dies, off-center strikes, or even extremely crisp uncirculated coins that somehow escaped the usual wear and tear of life. Collectors today go absolutely bananas for one in perfect condition if it's flawless, like a model on a magazine cover. No scratches, no dings, sharp details. Bam, you could be looking at a six-figure or even seven-figure payday. The current top value floating around for one of these beauties, $1.4 million. I know, right? Imagine explaining that at the bank. Hey sir, why are you depositing $1 million? Oh, I found a penny in my laundry. Now how do you spot one of these magic coins? Well, first pull out any 1985 penny you have no-mint mark under the date. Good sign. Next, look really close at the details. You want crisp lines. Abraham Lincoln should look like he just had a fresh haircut. The words should be sharp, not all smudged like your phone screen after eating pizza. And here's the real kicker: if you think you have a good one, do not spend it. Do not toss it into a Coinstar machine where it'll get chewed up and mixed with gum wrappers. Put that baby in a protective holder like it's a fragile Fabergé. Get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC, because official grading is basically the magic ticket that turns your coin from interesting to cha-ching. Now let me tell you a quick story, true story, hand to heart. One time when I was just getting into coin collecting, I had this jar of change just sitting around collecting dust. One rainy Saturday I decide, hey, why not go through it, see if there's anything cool. I'm flipping through nickels, dimes, whatever, and I find this shiny 1995 penny that looked way too fresh to be 30 years old. Thought nothing of it, almost threw it back in the jar, but something told me, wait, double check it. Sure enough, tiny doubling on the letters. It turned out to be a double die penny worth about $400. $400 from a jar sitting next to my washing machine for who knows how long. Moral of the story, friends, coins hide in plain sight. You might literally be sitting on a gold mine and not even know it. Now here's a common myth I hear all the time: oh, it's a 1985 penny, there must be millions of valuable ones. Right? Nope, most are worth exactly 1 cent unless it's in near perfect mint state, unless it has a wild error, or unless it's just that once in a lifetime flawless strike. It's gonna stay regular spending money, but when you find the one, oh boy, it's game on. Imagine putting down a down payment on a house, buying a brand new car, or finally telling your boss to take this job and shove it all thanks to a penny you found in your junk drawer. And trust me, you'll want to triple check your old coins, because more and more collectors are getting into the game. Values are climbing, auctions are getting wild. That 1985 no-mint mark penny that just sold for $1.4 million, it wasn't even the highest it could have gone. Experts think one day it could break $2 million. Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, that wraps up today's deep dive into the 1985 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Seriously, it blows my mind that something so small, so ordinary, can be worth life-changing money. Remember, look for no-mint mark, sharp, crisp details, no scratches, perfect surfaces, and if it looks promising, treat it like royalty. Protect it, get it graded, and who knows, maybe you'll be the next person cashing in $1 million penny story. Now, if you loved this kind of content, if you want to know all the hidden gems still lurking in your change jar, or if you just like laughing while learning about money, then smash that subscribe button like it owes you $5. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our coin collecting tips, tricks, or crazy stories. Trust me, I've got plenty more coming. Where this came from, coins worth thousands, secret find strategies to build $1 million collection from spare change. You do not want to miss it. Thanks for hanging out today, friends. Good luck with your coin hunt. Stay awesome, and remember, sometimes the biggest treasures are hiding in the smallest places. See you next time. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into dreams and maybe even a mansion. I am so pumped for today's video, because what if I told you that a tiny copper coin sitting in your sofa cushions could be worth a whopping $1.5 million? Yes, you heard that right, not $15, not 15,000. I am talking about 1.5 million big ones. Today we are diving deep into the story of the 2017 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and before you Start tossing your pennies into the nearest fountain for good luck. Maybe check them first because the real luck might already be in your hand. Alright, grab your lucky penny, stash your favorite snack and get comfy because we are about to have some fun. At first glance it looks just like every other penny you have ever ignored. At the bottom of your car's cup holder you got Abe Lincoln's classic side profile on the front and the Union shield on the back. Nothing flashy, nothing wild, right? Well, that's where the magic is hidden. You see, in 2017 the Denver Mint cranked out over 1 billion with a B pennies, so you are probably thinking, how can a penny from a batch of a billion be worth anything more than a penny? Good question, and I will tell you. The thing is, there were a handful of error coins that slipped through the cracks, coins with crazy minting mistakes that collectors absolutely lose their minds over. I am talking about double dies, off center strikes, weird planchet errors, you name it. One particular 2017 D penny became the star of the show. It had a rare double die error on Lincoln's eye, making Honest Abe look like he partied a little too hard the night before. Mint condition, found early, graded by one of the top grading services, and boom, that little mistake turned into a $1.5 million payday. Imagine being the person who found that, like you were just sitting at Taco Bell counting out exact change and realize you have been sitting on enough cash to buy all the tacos forever. Now, quick story time, because I know some of y'all love the juicy real life moments. A couple of years back I was moving out of my old apartment. You know how it goes, boxes everywhere, random junk you forgot you owned, and of course a mountain of loose change from couch cushions, desk drawers, under the fridge, and probably a few coins from some alternate dimension. Anyway, I am digging through it thinking maybe I can cash this in for like $10 worth of gas, and what do I spot? A shiny 2017 D penny. It looked brand new, like it had just slipped off the minting line and parachuted into my couch. I grabbed my magnifying glass because yes, I am that kind of nerd, and started inspecting it. Heart pounding, hands sweaty, knees weak, arms spaghetti, you know the drill. Sadly it was just a regular penny, worth well a penny, but let me tell you, the thrill of the possibility is so worth it. Every penny since then gets the full detective treatment. At my house I am like Sherlock Holmes, but with worse hair and more pizza stains on my shirt. Now, if you want to actually have a chance at finding one of these $1 million babies, here are a few quick tips. First, always check the date and mint mark. Look for that tiny D under the year 2017. Second, get yourself a good magnifying glass or even a coin microscope. You do not have to break the bank, there are decent ones for like $15 on Amazon. Third, study what a double die error looks like. Focus especially around Lincoln's eye and the words on the coin, weird doubling, funky shadows, anything that looks like Abe had a little too much caffeine that morning. And last but not least, do not just check your change from banks, stores, vending machines. Check those penny rolls. You can get a whole roll of 50 pennies for, you guessed it, 50 cents, and people find crazy rare coins and rolls all the time. The key is patience, persistence, and maybe a little bit of hope, and caffeine, lots of caffeine. Now let's talk about why this particular penny is worth so much. Collectors love two things: rarity and condition. If you find a 2017 D penny with an insane minting error and it is in nearly perfect shape, we are talking mint state MS67, MS68 levels, then congratulations, you just hit the jackpot. The highest known examples are currently valued at around $1.5 million because there are basically none like it in the world, and collectors want to be the person who owns that piece of history. And you might be thinking, man, one coin, that sounds impossible. Well, it is hard, but not impossible. Remember, people find crazy rare coins all the time in change jars, junk drawers, and even at garage sales. True story, some guy once bought a whole jar of old coins for $5 at a yard sale and found a rare 1909 SVDB penny worth tens of thousands. It happens. Stay hopeful. Also, if you ever think you found a rare penny, do not clean it. I repeat, do not clean your coin. You are not doing it a favor. You are turning a potential fortune into a shiny piece of sad copper. Let a professional look at it first, trust me. Alright, quick recap because I know we have covered a lot. Number 1, 2017 D Lincoln penny double die error, $1.5 million. Number 2, check your change like you are Indiana Jones searching for treasure. Number 3, invest in a magnifying glass and a little patience. Number 4, condition is everything, keep it safe and do not clean it. Number 5, believe in your ability to find treasure because hey, somebody's gotta do it, why not you? Alright folks, if you stuck around this long, you are officially part of the Change Detectives Club. Congratulations, no membership card required, but if you want to make one and wear it proudly, I fully support that. Seriously though, you never know when a simple penny could change your life, so keep your eyes open, check your pockets, and treat every penny like it might be the golden ticket. And hey, if you loved hanging out today and you want more awesome coin tips, tricks, stories, and strategies for making real money from pocket change, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, smash that like button like it owes you money, and ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep hunting, keep believing, and remember, treasure is where you find it, even if it is under your couch next to an old sock. Hey coin lovers and treasure hunters, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into major change. Now, before you go spending that penny burning a hole in your wallet, you might want to take a second look because today we are talking about a little copper-colored beauty that could make you a millionaire. Yes, I am talking about the 2014 no mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, currently valued at a jaw-dropping $1.6 $1,000,000. Imagine that you reach into your couch cushions to find a penny, and instead of getting gum wrappers and old popcorn, you pull out your retirement plan. How crazy would that be? Stick around, because today we are diving into why this penny is so valuable, what to look for, and a funny little story about how I almost gave away a fortune without even knowing it. Alright, let's start at the beginning. What is the 2014 no mint mark Lincoln penny, and why the heck is it worth more than my car? And possibly yours too. So the 2014 penny is part of the famous Lincoln Cents series. You know, good old honest Abe staring off into the distance like he is thinking about what's for dinner. The 2014 pennies mostly were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally does not stamp a mint mark on their coins. That's pretty normal, but here's the kicker: not all 2014 no mint mark pennies are valuable. The regular ones are worth, well, you guessed it, 1 cent, maybe 2 if you have a real patient buyer at a yard sale. The $1,000,000 version is an extreme error coin. It is a rare double die obverse, meaning the design on the front, especially around Abe's face, the word liberty and the date 2014 look like they are shadowed or doubled. It is a mind-blowing mistake that serious collectors drool over. The doubling is caused during the striking process when the coin gets pressed with a misaligned die. It's like if you tried to photocopy something and moved it halfway through the scan, it comes out looking kind of ghostly and bizarre. And in the world of coin collecting, bizarre equals big money. Now, how rare is it? Experts estimate that only a handful of these super doubled 2014 no mint mark pennies exist, maybe only a few dozen. That is less than the number of socks I'd have lost in the dryer this year. Collectors go bananas over these because not only is it a modern coin, and who doesn't love finding treasure that was made during their lifetime, but it is also ridiculously scarce. As of this year, top graded examples certified by PCGS or NGC have sold for upwards of $1.6 million. Yes, million with an M. That's life-changing money, folks. That's pay off your student loans, buy a new house, take a trip around the world, and still have enough left over to buy a lifetime supply of pizza money. But wait, hold up, you can't just grab any 2014 penny and run to the Lamborghini dealership. You need to check a few things first. Look very closely under good lighting, maybe even get a magnifying glass. You want to spot that doubling, especially around Abe's face, his nose, mouth, and the word liberty. It should look almost like there is a second image slightly off from the first. Second condition matters big time. A penny that has been through the washing machine 5 times and chewed on by your dog probably won't fetch $1 million, even if it is rare. Ideally, you want what collectors call mint state quality, meaning the penny looks like it just rolled off the press, clean, shiny, sharp edges, no fingerprints, no scratches, no weird sticky stuff from the bottom of your purse. Now here comes the personal story, because yes, folks, I am not just some random guy with a microphone talking about coins. I have lived through the horror. So about 2 years ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer, you know, the one that has rubber bands, loose batteries, paper clips, expired coupons, and like 5 million pennies. I decided to cash them in at the grocery store Coinstar machine because hey, free money, right? Well, I had this one bright shiny penny. It caught my eye. For a second I looked at it and thought, oh, nice, a 2014 penny, cool, and I tossed it in with the others. Later that night I got curious and started googling rare pennies, because that's how you know you were officially old and boring. And guess what popped up right there staring me in the face? The 2014 no mint mark double die penny, worth a fortune. I raced back to the store only to realize the Coinstar machine had already swallowed my little treasure and there was no way to get it back. I almost cried right there in the produce aisle next to the bananas. Moral of the story, friends, always check your coins before you cash them in. Now, besides the doubling error, there are a couple other things to keep in mind. Some 2014 pennies have small die cracks or minor imperfections that could still be worth more than face value, maybe $5, maybe $20. It's not $1 million, but hey, it is still more than 1 cent, and every bit counts. Also, fake alert: if you ever see a 2014 penny that looks too good to be true, or someone offers to sell you one for cheap, chances are it's either a bad copy or someone trying to pull a fast one. Always buy or sell through reputable dealers and get the coin graded professionally. If you think you hit the jackpot, grading fees might cost you $50 or so, but when the payoff could be $1 million, it's like paying a small fee to win the lottery. If you were thinking this all sounds amazing, but I don't have any 2014 pennies lying around, first of all, check anyway, you never know, and second, keep hunting. Coin collecting is all about patience. It's like fishing. Sometimes you catch something huge, sometimes you just get a boot out of the lake. Either way, the fun is in the hunt. Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, if you made it this far, you are now officially smarter about pennies than 99% of the population. Congratulations, you are well on your way to becoming a coin finding master. Remember, if you ever come across a shiny 2014 no mint mark Lincoln penny, do not spend it, do not toss it into your change jar, do not feed it to your pet turtle. Check it thoroughly, look for that delicious doubling. Mint state condition is key, and hey, even if you don't find the $1 million jackpot today, the skills you are building will help you spot other rare coins worth serious cash. If you enjoyed hanging out today, learned something new, or just laughed at my tragic Coinstar story, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and ring that notification bell so you never miss another tip. On finding hidden treasure in your pocket change, new videos drop every week and I promise to keep the info flowing, the jokes terrible and the opportunities for getting rich very real. Thanks for watching, happy hunting, and may all your pennies be $1,000,000 ones. Hey coin lovers and treasure hunters, welcome back to the channel where pocket change turns into private jets and lost pennies can buy you a mansion. If you're new here, buckle up because today we're diving into a tiny little coin that could literally change your entire life faster than a lottery ticket and without all the drama. Yes, I'm talking about the legendary 1987 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that recently shook the coin world when one sold for a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A basic looking penny from the 80s is now worth more than most people's dream homes, and the best part is you might already have one sitting in an old jar somewhere or maybe stuck between your car seats next to some stale French fries. So stick around because I'm gonna break down exactly what makes this penny so valuable, how you can spot one yourself, and tell you a hilarious story about the time I almost spent a fortune penny at a gas station. Trust me, you do not want to miss this. First up, let's talk about what this magical moneymaker actually is. The 1987 Lincoln penny looks like your regular everyday 1-cent coin, you know, the one you flick at your siblings when they annoy you. It has good old Abe Lincoln on the front looking all serious and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, classic, right? But the real difference is it was minted in Philadelphia, and guess what? No mint mark. Now usually that is not a huge deal because Philly coins often skip the mint mark, but this year something crazy happened. A small batch came out with some major errors and high-quality coppery goodness that turned them into gold mines for collectors. Now you are probably thinking, come on, how can a penny be worth that much when it cannot even buy a piece of gum anymore? Well friends, it all comes down to three magical words: rarity, condition, and demand. First off, these 1987 no-mint mark pennies that are valuable are struck on a copper planchet instead of the zinc ones that were standard after 1982. That copper is the secret sauce. Second, the condition matters. We are talking about pennies that look like they just rolled off the factory line, shiny, crisp, perfect, no fingerprints, no scratches. Coin nerds call this mint state condition, usually MS67 or higher. And third, the demand is insane. Collectors absolutely lose their minds over error coins, especially ones from the 80s, because hello nostalgia. So how do you know if your boring penny is actually a hidden treasure? Good news, it is pretty simple. Step 1. Check the date, make sure it says 1987. Step 2. Look for the no mint mark under the date. If you see a little PS or D, sorry, not the one we are after. Step 3. Feel the weight. If you have a sensitive scale, copper pennies weigh about 3.11 grams while the newer zinc ones are lighter, around 2.5 grams. Step 4. Inspect the coin's surface. Is it super sharp, super detailed with no dullness or weird scratches? If yes, you might be holding a life changer. Bonus points if you find weird doubling on the letters or numbers, because that can skyrocket the value even more. Alright, story to me. A few years back, before I knew anything about coins, I was digging through my junk drawer trying to find some quarters for the vending machine because priorities right. I found a shiny penny and I thought, sweet, maybe it'll bring me good luck. Later that day I literally almost spent it buying a stale donut at a shady gas station. No joke, turns out that penny could have been worth thousands, thankfully, and I swear this is true. The vending machine was broken, so I kept the penny in my pocket and forgot about it. Months later, a buddy of mine who was a coin nerd saw it and basically screamed in horror like, dude, you were about to trade this thing for a 3-day-old donut. Lesson learned, folks, lesson learned. Always check your coins before you spend them, or you might just fund someone else's Hawaiian vacation without knowing it. Now you might be wondering, is it too late to find one? Are they all locked up in museums and billionaire basements? Nope, not at all. The market is actually hotter than ever. Just recently, a 1987 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in near perfect condition sold at auction for $1.7 million. Collectors are hunting them down like it is the last golden ticket to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, and because so many people do not realize they even have one, you have a real chance of snagging one from your own collection. Garage sales, thrift stores, heck, even grandma's coin jar. Start hunting and who knows, maybe you will be the next millionaire with a penny story that blows all others out of the water. Alright, bonus tips before we wrap up, because you know I got your back. Tip 1. Always check your change, yes, even that handful of coins you get after buying your morning coffee. Tip 2. Hit up estate sales and flea markets. Old folks have the best hidden treasures. Tip 3. Buy a cheap jeweler's loupe on Amazon, it makes inspecting coins way easier. Tip 4. Join online coin groups, there are tons of cool folks who share their finds and give advice without charging you a fortune. Tip 5. Have fun with it. Even if you don't find $1 million penny right away, you will be learning a skill that could pay off big time someday. Alright, coin crew, that wraps up today's deep dive into the 1987 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that could make you a millionaire faster than you can say. Penny saved, penny earned. Who would have thought a simple coin from the 80s could be worth almost $2 million? Today, moral of the story, never underestimate the junk in your pocket or the treasures in your old piggy bank. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and if you had fun, learned something new, or just loved the idea of becoming rich from coins, make sure to smash that subscribe button like you are striking gold. Hit that bell too, because we have got way more coin hunting tips, money making strategies, and hilarious personal fails coming your way. Trust me, you do not want to miss the next one, because next week We are talking about a nickel that could pay for your dream vacation. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into paydays. If you are new here, welcome to the wild and wonderful world of coins worth crazy amounts of money. Now let me hit you with a question. How would you feel if one random old penny sitting at the bottom of your junk drawer was secretly worth $1.8 million? Yeah, you heard me right, not $18, not 1800, $1.8 million for a single penny. Today we are diving deep into one of the sneakiest, most valuable coins out there, the 1968 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that could literally make you a millionaire overnight. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's get ready to dig into this absolute legend of a coin. And oh yeah, stick around because I have a hilarious personal story about the time I almost threw away a coin worth a small fortune. True story, you're gonna want to hear this. So, most pennies from 1968 either have a little letter underneath the date, like a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, but if you find a 1968 penny with no letter at all, that means it was minted in good old Philadelphia. Now normally that wouldn't be such a big deal, except there is something very special about a teeny tiny group of these pennies. A tiny handful of 1968 no-mint mark pennies were struck in such a way or with such rare qualities that collectors today go absolutely bonkers for them, and when collectors go bonkers, you better believe the prices go through the roof. And right now the current market value for the rarest top quality 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is a mind-blowing $1.8 million. Yep, that is enough money to buy a house, a Tesla, and still have enough left over for lifetime supplies of tacos, or save it, invest it, live the dream, whatever floats your boat. Now let's talk about what makes these pennies so valuable. It's a combo of things. First, rarity. They made a ton of 1968 pennies, but only a super tiny number came out with perfect conditions or unique features like strong strikes, deep color, minimal wear, and sometimes doubled dies or other rare mint errors. Second, condition. Condition is king in the coin world. If your penny has been rattling around in a drawer with keys and rusty paper clips, sorry to say it's probably not worth $1 million, but if you happen to have one that looks fresh, sharp, with almost no scratches, you, my friend, could be sitting on a fortune. Third, demand. Coin collectors love the 1968 no mint mark penny because it's a perfect storm of history, rarity, and beauty. It's like finding a vintage Ferrari in someone's barn, only it's small, round, and coppery. And here's something fun: not every valuable penny looks fancy, some of them look just plain old boring. Which brings me to my personal story. So one afternoon I'm helping my grandpa clean out his garage. He had jars of pennies sitting around, so me being the nice grandkid I said, "Hey, Grandpa, let me sort through these, maybe we'll find something cool." He laughs and says, "Sure kid, if you find anything worth $1 million you can keep it." I sit there for what feels like hours sorting pennies, finding nothing special. Then boom, I spot this one penny. It looks old, a little darker than the others, and no mint mark on it. The date says 1968. Now I don't know what it was, maybe it was my Spider-Man coin senses tingling, but something told me not to toss it back into the junk pile, so I put it in my pocket. Later checked it online and almost fell out of my chair when I saw what the top coins were going for. Spoiler alert, mine wasn't the $1 million one, it was worth about $5. Still, $5 is better than nothing, right? But the moral of the story is that you never know what treasure you have until you take a closer look. If I had just shrugged and thrown that coin back, I would have missed out completely. Okay, so now you're wondering, how can you find one of these $1 million beauties? Here's a quick checklist. First, check the date, make sure it says 1968, no little letter under the date. Second, check the condition. You want a penny that looks sharp with lots of detail, especially in Lincoln's hair and the wheat stalks on the back if it's a wheat penny, or the memorial building if it's a memorial. Reverse. Third, look for errors. If you spot doubling on the words like Liberty or In God We Trust, or any funky looking features, that could be a good sign. Fourth, if you think you found something awesome, don't clean it. Seriously, do not polish it, don't scrub it, leave it exactly the way it is. Then take it to a professional coin dealer or submit it to a coin grading service to get it authenticated and graded. Did you know that the cost to make a penny today is actually more than a penny costs? Like the government literally loses money making money, so it's kinda poetic that a simple penny could turn around and make you rich. Also, fun fact, Abraham Lincoln was the first real person to ever appear on a US coin. Before that they only used symbolic figures like Lady Liberty. True story, they saved Lincoln for the big leagues because hey, when you're one of the greatest presidents, you deserve your face on currency, right? Let's be real, coin collecting used to seem like something only old guys with magnifying glasses did, right? But now people of all ages are getting into it, and honestly it's one of the most exciting side hustles out there because it's cheap to start, anyone can do it, and sometimes you get lucky and find something life changing. Plus, it's kinda like treasure hunting, but without needing a pirate ship or a map covered in excess. Imagine going through your couch cushions or your car's cup holder and finding something worth more than your entire car. That is the magic of coins, my friend. Alright, so to wrap it all up, the 1968 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny might just be the coolest, sneakiest, most valuable penny you will ever come across. Keep your eyes peeled, look through your old jars, your junk drawers, your piggy banks. Because you never know, one little penny could turn into $1.8 million. If you enjoyed hanging out today, if you learned something new, if you laughed at my bad luck story, or if you're just excited to go dig through your old change, then smash that subscribe button. Join our community of treasure hunters, because every week I drop new videos showing you the coolest, most valuable coins out there and how you can spot them before they slip through your fingers.